Welcome to Ecstatic Yoga. I'm Grace. Take this sweatshirt off. Welcome to week 10. We're moving right along in this yoga teacher training, and we're going to focus on this vijnanomaya kosha. That's our focus this week, this wisdom body, this outer sheath. This is the fourth sheath. So we have the Annamaya, which is our body. That's the first. Pranamaya, which is the energy body. That's number 2. Manomaya, which is the mental emotional body, the lower mind and the emotions. And then Vijnanamaya, which is the higher mind. We're moving and expanding into higher states of consciousness, higher aspects of ourselves. And in this practice, our focus this week is the throat chakra and the Ajna chakra. So I'm going to be taking you through some little poses that activate the throat and the Ajna, and we'll take some little breaks where we just take a focus and bring all our attention into these chakras to activate them. Ajna chakra is very connected to the vijnanomaya kosha. So we definitely want to maybe bring a little focus in on that this week. And remembering too, this is our week of surrender and our week of receiving love into our own hearts, receiving love. So often we're giving, and it's time to receive that love, our own self-love, receive love from the universe, receive love from others. We're just open to receive love during this practice. And this whole week, it's about receiving love. So let's see. I wanted to read you just a couple things about the vijnanomaya kosha. The buddhi mind is part of this kosha, this higher mind, and that activates this wisdom that is inside of us, our higher intuition. And so this is how we're being guided. And when we're being guided through our higher intuition and our wisdom and the energy of this sheath, this layer of our being, and listening to this guidance, it moves us onto our higher path, our higher destiny. And then our soul and our higher self is directing our choices and our actions rather than the ego and the lower mind and the lower tendencies. So let's see. And then we begin a powerful path of awakening to Purusha, which is the goal of yoga, becoming one with this divine source, this Purusha, Brahman, divine source, creator. So let's begin our practice. We'll be all on the floor today. And we're going to take a moment to ground ourselves, feeling those sits bones on the earth and feeling that support of the earth and feeling this physical Annamaya kosha, this physical body. Bringing our awareness and beginning to breathe. And just checking in with ourselves. Noticing our own energy. And dropping that breath down to this lower belly. And moving into that pranamaya kosha, this energy body, checking in on your energy, your life force. And then moving into this manamaya kosha, this mental, the lower mind, and the emotions, and noticing what's arising, where you're at. Is the lower mind activated? Is it quiet and not causing disturbance? And where are your emotions at? Without any judgment, without making any emotions right or wrong, feeling into them fully, pushing nothing away. And then expanding into this vijnanomaya kosha, the higher mind. And let's create our intention from this expanded place, this wisdom, this place of intuition, higher knowledge. And setting that intention, visualizing and feeling like you're right there, vivid, detailed, clear. And releasing that intention with a this or better, this or better, this or better. Beautiful. Let's move into some cat-cows. Seated cat-cow. As we move into cat, we're going to arch that back. You can bring the hands to the knees and lifting the chest. Inhaling into our cow. And exhaling into cat as we round the back. Moving back and forth at your own pace. And coming back to center. And making some circles. Keeping the breath flowing. And we're going to go the other direction, making sure to go both directions. And noticing the sensations as you breathe. And as we move through this flow, we're going to maintain that connection to the vijnanomaya kosha. And let's open up that side body, little lateral movement, reaching the arm across as you open up and move that spine laterally. And moving over to the other side. And coming back to center. And let's move into our butterfly, Baddha Konasana, bringing the soles of those feet together, wrapping the hands around the feet. You can open them up a little bit and begin to flap those butterfly wings. Gently opening up, warming up those hips before we move into the forward folds. Beginning to slow down those butterfly wings, those legs, and come to a gentle stop. And then let's bring those legs down towards the earth. So they're coming in that direction. That's the line of energy. You may not make it down all the way to the earth. Inhaling as you lengthen and extend the spine. And exhale, hinging forward. And find this gentle edge in your hinge. And on the next exhale, seeing if you can hinge a little bit deeper into the hips, maybe just a micro movement deeper. And bringing the hands down towards the earth, rounding the back and moving into a nice forward fold. And as we rest in this forward fold, we're going to bring our attention first to that throat chakra. Our attention into that throat chakra, and as you gently come up, realizing when we bring our attention, where attention goes, energy flows. So we're bringing our attention here and we're bringing energy into this chakra. And this chakra is our connection to our spirit guides, connection to hearing our spirit guides' messages, and the higher intuition. So we'll be receiving our intuitive prompts and our messages through this wide open throat chakra. Just recognizing that that is that activation. And coming all the way back up, we're going to bring both legs out. And we're going to forward fold right into the center. So we're going to inhale. You can raise those arms up if you like. On the inhale, feeling the lengthening of the spine. Let's bring the hands down to the heart and begin to hinge forward in the hips. Bringing the hands down to the earth and relaxing forward. And resting on this edge for a breath. And then on your next scene, if you can hinge a little deeper, and if you want to round the spine and bring the hands down to the earth, moving into that. And we're going to bring our focus to this Ajna chakra, the third eye, right to that point right between your brows. Hi, Bruno. Thank you for joining. And as we bring our focus to this third eye chakra, this Ajna chakra, we're aligning and awakening and activating that higher mind, that connection to that higher self, that divine self. Inhaling on your next inhale, coming up. And we're going to curl this right leg in, bringing the sole of the right foot onto the inner thigh of the left, squaring our body so we're facing that left foot. Inhaling, can bring those arms up. Exhaling, bringing them in front of the heart and hinging forward. Feeling that heart guiding you forward. And find your edge, taking a breath here. And then seeing if you can hinge a little bit deeper in the hip. And when you find your final edge, rounding the spine, bringing the head in towards the leg, and breathe. Bringing the focus to that throat. The chakra right in the throat here. Activating that deep connection to our guides, to our higher self, to that auditory channel. We hear the messages from our higher self. And on your next inhale, coming up. Beautiful job. And we're going to open up that right leg nice and wide and bend that left leg. And the sole of the foot and the inner thigh of the right leg. And squaring your body to face this right foot. Inhaling, bringing those arms up. And then in towards your heart. And exhaling, folding forward. Feeling that hip hinge forward, finding that gentle edge, and taking a nice full breath here. Inhale and exhale. At the bottom of that exhale, see if you can hinge a little deeper. And then rounding the spine, bringing the hands to the earth, and relaxing into this forward fold for a few breaths. And we're going to focus on the Ajna chakra now, this third eye, bringing our attention and our awareness there. And on your next inhale, coming all the way back up. Beautiful. And we're going to come up onto our feet for a moment. And see if you can come down onto your heels. There we go. In our malasana, our squat, our nice little seated squat. And as you bring the hands to the heart, see if you can use those elbows to press the legs out a little bit. Notice that nice sensation. And engage those bandhas and let's breathe. And if you're able to bring your awareness to both the throat and the Ajna chakra simultaneously, I invite you to engage in that focus. Beautiful. One more breath. Beautiful. And coming down onto the earth. Beautiful job. We'll move into a couple balancing poses here. Moving into balancing bear first. So wrapping your hands around the outside of the feet, balancing on that sacrum. And you can lift one leg at a time up. Opening it up and stretching. Noticing the beautiful sensations. Keeping the breath flowing. And switching sides. The right leg down and reaching out, straightening out that other leg. Keeping that breath flowing. Bringing that leg down, and then you can either continue moving side to side, or you can lift both heels up, bring both legs out into our balancing bear, lengthening the spine and finding a spot that you can gaze at to focus your attention and breathe. One more breath. And releasing the legs down. Beautiful job. And let's move into our boat. Still balancing on that sacrum, that's our foundation, a part of our body that's on the earth. And we're going to move into a half boat, lifting those legs, those calves nice and parallel to the earth. And then straightening the legs, moving out into our boat. And breathe. One more breath. Moving into your half boat. And coming back. We'll move into some spinal rocks as we come down to the floor. Massaging those kidneys, those muscles alongside our spine, the rector spinae muscles. And let's end up on the earth. And move into a bridge. So let's first move into two-legged table as we press into the feet and lift the hips halfway. And notice the sensations here. And on your next exhale, coming down nice and slowly from the spinal column. We'll start from the upper spinal processes, the thoracic vertebrae, and coming down one vertebrae at a time. The mid and the lower. Coming down onto the lumbar. And even feel that sacrum and tailbone release. Beautiful. The next inhale, pressing into the feet, lifting the hips, we're moving to our full bridge. So we're moving into a back bend. We're going to clasp the hands underneath us and come up onto our shoulders. And we're going to be imagining that those knees are holding a block so they don't spread out wide, keeping them hip width apart. And breathe. Bandhas are gently engaged. One more breath. And releasing the shoulders, releasing the hands, coming all the way down. Again, one vertebrae at a time, like a string of pearls. And once that sacrum and that tailbone has released, can bring those knees into the chest for a gentle little counter pose for the back bend, a little forward flexion of the spine. And let's lift those legs up, a nice little inversion, giving our veins a little vacation. You can flex and extend those feet. And if you'd like to move up into half shoulder stand, you can do that. We can bring one leg at a time straight down. Maybe coming to the side if you like. And then let's hinge over into our plow. I like to keep the legs parallel to the floor. If you'd like to bend the knees and bring them to the sides, you can do that. And coming out, we're going to gently roll out, extending those legs out. And we're going to move into our fish, Matsyasana. Palms are face down on the earth. We're going to bring a hand underneath each buttocks, bringing those arms in snugly close to the body. And pressing into the elbows. And next inhale, we're going to lift the head and the heart. The chest comes up, relaxing that head, and then coming gently down to rest on the top of the head. And bringing our awareness to the throat, because the throat is wide open. Bringing the attention there. Activating this chakra, this pranic field. Inhaling, pressing into those elbows, coming up, straightening out, and gently coming back down, releasing the hands. We're going to move into a nice supine spinal twist. So coming to the left side first, coming up to that left side just an inch, bending the right knee and bringing it over to the left. Using the left hand to guide the right knee over. Right arm is out 90 degrees. And you can gaze out over those right fingertips. And breathe. And one more breath here. And releasing the knee, coming back to center. And we're going to switch sides. So straightening out that right leg, coming up onto that right side, bending the left knee and bringing the left leg over to the right. Guiding that left leg with the right hand and bringing that left arm out 90 degrees, making sure both shoulders are resting on the earth and turning the head to gaze out over the left fingertips and breathe. And releasing that left leg, coming back to center on our backs. And let's bring those knees into the chest, rocking back and forth a little bit. And let's move into happy baby, grabbing those outside legs and just kicking around and enjoying some movement in the legs before we move into our savasana. In that breath flowing, enjoying the sensations. And making any last minute movements that you may need to make before savasana. And then getting into your savasana pose when you're ready. And as you move into your savasana, allowing your body to relax into the earth, sinking into floor or the earth, releasing and letting go of all muscular tension, allowing all the muscles, the bones, the organs, the entire physical being, including the brain and the entire nervous system. And sinking deep into this deep silence and stillness as we integrate and absorb this asana practice in silent stillness. And I will bring you back. And taking a nice deep breath into that lower belly. Beginning to come back into the body, the Annamaya kosha, feeling the earth underneath you, wiggling the fingers and the toes, stretching out the arms and the legs. And rolling over to one side or the other. Taking a breath here. And kindly and gently coming up to a seated position. Light some of it. As you come to a seated position, we're going to move into just a short meditation, focusing on resting in this vijnanomaya kosha. And also we're going to be focusing on this throat chakra first, allowing that energy to build in the throat, activating that chakra, and feeling a sense of surrender, surrendering into this higher mind, surrendering all the lower mind, disempowering distractions. Seeing this throat chakra filled with light, expanding, seeing those energetic discs spinning out through the front and through the back of this chakra. And watching that light in this throat chakra expand and intensify. And then watching this light start to build so much, it starts to move up right into this Ajna chakra, right into this third eye, right between the brows, the eyebrows. And imagine right in the center of your cranium, right in the center of your head, you came and intersected is that pineal gland. And imagining the light expanding, filling this pineal gland, this third eye chakra. Imagining that light intensifying and expanding, and those discs of energy spinning clockwise out the front and the back of the head. Every breath, that light, that Ajna chakra, the center of your head, pineal gland, is becoming brighter and more intense. So your entire head is lit up with spiritual power and light and love. Taking a nice deep inhale and exhale. Few deep flowing breaths. And releasing that focus of attention, releasing that focus on the third eye, and taking a moment now to rest in this higher mind, this vijnanomaya kosha, this expanded self. Sense of silent stillness. And taking this moment to bring yourself back to that intention you set. And again, feeling those emotions and seeing yourself in that intention, fully manifest. And surrendering this intention to the higher mind, to the infinite, all-knowing universe with a this or better, this or better, this or better. And when you're ready, gently opening your eyes, bringing your hands in front of your heart. And we'll conclude our practice with a namaste prayer. I honor the place in you. Well, thank you for the hearts in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is of love, light, truth, and peace. And when I am in that place in me, and you are in that place in you, we are one. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today for ecstatic yoga, floor flow. Thank you, Bruno, for joining. Wishing you a most beautiful and blessed day.